Hey everybody, welcome back to KaboomSec. It's your host Robbie, and today we're going to go through another daily BugForge challenge. Today we're going to go through the Galaxy Dash weekly challenge, and we're going to talk about something that we call token hijacking. So, if you're ready to blow up bad security, let's get started. Okay, so we're here on the Galaxy Dash dashboard. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create a delivery. So we're going to do it's going to be a two delivery process just to kind of show you proofs of concept. So let's just go ahead and create a delivery. And so we're going to go through this. So now here's where we're going to put our payload. So, kind of simple thing. We're just going to write a script. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to do prompt 1. Okay, and then ending script. All right, so what this is going to do is this is going to show us if there's any way we can inject cross-site scripting into our delivery. So we're just going to pick fast delivery just for fun, and we're going to go ahead and book this. Now, the one way to check if this worked is you actually need to look at your order form, so your invoice. So if this works, then it should pop up with some sort of JavaScript alert. So let's check it out, see if it works. And it does. We can see our 1, and we can see our prompt. Okay, so very, very useful. So we now know that this is injectable. So what we need to do now is we're going to go ahead and make another delivery, but this time we're going to go ahead and put in a specific payload. And we're actually going to use something called webhooks that will help us to kind of solve the challenge. So let's go ahead and go through this again. Now I'm going to put in a special payload. I'm just going to copy and paste it in here, but I'm going to talk about it just so people understand kind of what it is, that I'm not just throwing around a bunch of code. Okay, so obviously we're going to do something called like script. So we're going to put whatever script that we're making inside of it, and we're going to encase it. Now we are going to do a fetch command. So this means that we wanted to retrieve some information from a website. In this case, we're going to do a webhook. So webhook.site is a place that allows you to capture like information from like a website using a webhook. That's really, really useful, especially when you're thinking about like chat rooms, chat bots, stuff like this. You can capture a lot of information. Okay, and now we want it to actually have token. So we are going to say token equals. And we wanted to add the encode URI component. So what that's going to do is it's going to actually take the token and encode it. So it's not just like JSON, but it's going to encode it to where it's good. Now we're also going to gather this token from local storage, and we're going to do .getItem, which means that it's going to look in local storage for a key phrase called token. If it's there, then it's going to get it and encode it, and we're looking for token. And then we're going to encase these in our brackets or parentheses, and we're going to end the script. Okay, so to make this workable, we're going to come in here and we're going to use our webhook. So this webhook is just temporary, so don't ever try to do any sensitive information on here because someone could hijack it, but for our purposes, it's okay. So we're going to go ahead and put that in here. So now we see that we have our full payload here and it's ready. So let's go ahead and send that off here. Now in this case, we don't actually necessarily need to look back at the invoice. We're just going to kind of manipulate the system to where it's going to work. So let's go ahead and go back to our list. Now we see something really interesting. We see something like request support. So maybe something's wrong, something's not working. So let's see what we can do. So we're going to come in here, we're going to choose our payload, which was our delivery 2, and we're going to do invoice review. And just for fun, we'll just say something like hacked. So what should happen is now this request is going to go to the chatbot, and this chatbot will actually get captured in the webhook, and we can kind of see what information is there. Okay, so let's go back. It should take just a few minutes or two to capture it, and right away we do see it. So here we actually see down here our web token. So here we can see that we're able to capture someone else's token. So just as proof of concept, just so we can kind of see whose it is, let's go to jwt.io, and we're going to decode it and see what it is, just so we can prove that this isn't just some random thing. Okay. So let's go ahead and look down. So we see here, we see our user ID is 5, username is support, organization ID is 4, and the role is support bot. So we definitely see that this is a support bot. So what we're going to do now, since we already have it, we're going to go ahead and go into inspect. Then we're going to go to our sources, sorry, not sources, application. Then we're going to go to local storage, and then a website. And then here you see my token. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and delete that, paste in our new token, hit enter, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to do a hard refresh, and then we should see KaboomSec turn into support. So let's check it out. Okay, so now we do see this. This is very, very important. So now we see that we have gotten the support ticket. So that's really, really important. So in order to find this, you could actually look through here on the DevTools if you want. But the way I found it is we went through Kaido. So let's go back to our API bookings. And we see here in our X flag, we see the bug. Okay, so guys, as you can see, I just went ahead and captured a token. I was able to use it and log into the user's website. So this is kind of a big problem, right? So guys, this is just a little bit about this walkthrough. Now, if I were to give this a rating, I would give it a 9, just because I'm actively exploiting cross-site scripting. I'm able to grab a user's token or a bot's token, and I'm able to access that account. So that's a pretty big problem. So I would rate that as a 9, as high. Okay, so guys, this is just the walkthrough for this weekly challenge. I also just wanted to thank Simon for creating that payload. Actually, I tried to use that same payload and see if I could use it in a different variation with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT was not successful. So in some cases, AI is really, really useful, but don't rely on it too much. So sometimes the human perspective is usually better. So guys, that's it for today, and we'll see you in the next Kaboom Sec. Thank you so much.